Hello, welcome back to the Football Terrace. Hit like buttons right now. Make sure you are subscribing. Premier League football is back with us very soon. And I was scaling through social media, interacting with other fans, just gauging the general opinion, the mood surrounding particular football clubs and some of the big stories surrounding them ahead of what I think is going to be an amazing end to November. A brilliant festive period, setting us up for that hard slog between January and that March international break. I personally cannot wait. I know many of you are feeling the same as well. I want to touch on Man United today because I think we're about to start cooking, and I'm going to tell you why. We're going to touch on Arsenal and why I think the pressure on Arteta is correct, but the way you go about it, I think you need to temper. I think you need to get right. But I wanted to start with Chelsea. Chelsea have gone on leaps and bounds so far this season, and they deserve nothing but credit for it. The project that had a number of stumbling blocks, they made a number of mistakes, their owners, has really started to pay some dividends. They're moving up the league table. They're in those Champions League positions. Some have even spoke about Chelsea maybe getting themselves into a title race this campaign. And I think they've deserved a lot of praise. A lot of that has come from myself and people like me across social media. However, and there is a however here, there's one area we know they've got to address the goalkeeper. We know they need probably a more prolific striker. But the conundrum with Reece James has to be addressed, whether it's January or whether it is in the summer. It has been reported that he has suffered a new injury. This has come directly from Enzo Moresca. Unfortunately, Reece felt something small, and we don't want to take a risk for this game. Now, on the surface, this will appear to be a very short-term problem for Reece James. However, you look at the vat of injuries this young man has suffered, the amount of times that his hamstrings have let him down. His availability is exceedingly poor. His ability versus his availability is night and day. It's like two completely different human beings in that relation. And I have a lot of respect for the playing ability of Reece James. Nothing negative to say about him as a person. That isn't what this is about. But I'm talking purely from the perspective of football. Chelsea have got to move on. Time is now up for this man. And I know this is only a short-term injury, but any Chelsea fans watching this, do any of you truly believe he is now beyond another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 medium to long-term injuries in the coming years? Do you guys actually believe that? I don't think very many Chelsea fans do. And I think it's really, really important to remember that. And I think you've got to move on from this guy. His body is broken. He's going to keep failing. His body's going to keep failing, and it's going to hurt Chelsea. I know he's an academy player. I know that means so much to you at Stamford Bridge, and I respect that. However, physically speaking, he is just not the guy. But give me your thoughts, feelings, and opinions about that in the comments section below, my people. Now, up next, I want to talk about Manchester United. Now, I know a lot of people have been getting excited about all of the training footage that has come out. It looks new. It looks innovative. The players are loving it. There was a great report I read today that said that Amorim is blown away by the quality of his squad. He loves the players. And that's what everybody's getting excited about. Not me. I'm excited, but it isn't about all of that stuff, which I find a little bit superficial. Yes, the training drills look good. Yes, the players look in high spirits. But I saw the players laughing, smiling and joking just before Ten Hag was dropped. For me, watching their body language on match day is far more important when the real pressure is on. However, having said that, before some of you say Terry's being negative, I think Man United are going to cook. In fact, I think Man United are cooking overall. The problem is we have been in the preparation stage. We have been getting everything ready. And if you've ever cooked a really good big meal, okay, like you've had 10, 15 people around for Christmas and you're making your own gravy, everything is fresh, nothing is Aunt Bessie's that you're putting in the oven. Definitely done that before, right? If you're making this all fresh, the preparation is so key. And Ineos have been preparing and getting loads of elements ready. Now, are we at a point where we are going to win the Premier League from now to the end of the season? No, no one's claiming that. How can you be cooking then, Terry? Because success isn't simply measured by looking at who the best teams are today and seeing whether you can match them in the short term. That isn't how success is done. If you're a brand new startup business today, year one may be very successful for you. You might hit your targets. You might surpass your targets. You might make a profit year one. Do you know what? We were going to employ 2 new people. We can afford 3 now. We've made extra money than we expected. We can invest that into next year. That's a success. But you might compare that to a competitor in your industry who's been trading 10 years, and it may look like an awful year. My God, they turn over 200 times more than us. They have 25 employees. Oh my God, we're failures. It's not really how life works. It's not how I look at it anyway. Some of you may, and I'll leave you to have those opinions. Man United, in my humble opinion, are really going to start progressing in the coming weeks. I think Ruben is the right man. There's a bit between his teeth, but it's coupled with the structure at the football club. The only final element we've got to get right, and I understand this debate, I don't trust these players. I've seen other managers thrown under the bus. Why will they not do this again? Because we don't have bankers, marketers, and accountants running the football club anymore. That doesn't happen. That isn't happening. So therefore, for me, it's very easy. If somebody, I saw this happen in my old industry, somebody would come into the banking world from a different industry. They might have good experience, they might be a smart person, but they're coming from a new industry. And it was easy in the short term to pull the wool over the eyes of those individuals. You could throw them, you could send them on a little trail and they wouldn't quite know what they were looking for yet. At some point in the normal professional world, they learn, they understand, they come back, and you get in trouble for that type of thing. But we had owners that were we had not just owners, but we had people running our club that were so easy to pull the wool over their eyes. And it was so easy for player power to exist and thrive. I don't believe that is going to happen moving forward. You may disagree, but I'm very positive about Man United at the minute. I'm getting nearly everything that I've been asking for 11 years. So this weekend cannot come soon enough for me. Now, moving on to the final subjects, Mikel Arteta and Arsenal. The pressure to win the league, the pressure to win the Champions League, the pressure to pick up a medal. Is it good, bad, or indifferent? Now, the internet is full of such varying opinions on this. Some believe that being angry, aggressive, holding up high standards every single step of the way, calling out anything they dislike, that will get you over the line. My question to a lot of Arsenal fans is, many of you have been that angry for 10 or so years, and it hasn't got you over the line. So does it work? Maybe you argue you're not being listened to, and if everybody else did it, you would. But there's no empirical evidence that works. Equally, I think, oh, he's our manager, we love him, he'll get there in the end. This softly approach, I also don't think he's going to yield the success. I think there is a happy medium. Now, Gooners, you may disagree with me. And look, I do care. I want your views and I want your opinions. But I think you can maintain or push for high standards whilst keeping it respectful and pushing encouragement. I understand, and we've had young Sam come on the show, young Tommy last night, man like Jason, hope you're all well, gents. Push the standards. They want the Real Madrid standards at Arsenal. I'm sorry to break it to you all, you're not Real Madrid. It's almost impossible to instill those standards and that pressure upon your squad, your manager, the hierarchy, when you've never even got to that level yet. Madrid didn't get to that level via the pressure. They got to the level, they sustained it. The expectations were maintained for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 decades. Therefore, it's easier to implement because learnt behavior has been there through generations. This is where I agree with those guys. I understand you want to strive to get there, but the idea you can be angry for a couple of years on social media and that gets you over the line, I don't think necessarily works. Equally, I don't just think sacking managers or head coaches works either. Now, if you've got a good structure and you bring in a head coach and they fail, you're in a position where you can go through 2 or 3 in a short space of time. The likes of Real Madrid and Bayern Munich have done this as well. I'm not saying it can't happen, but what you really need is that balance between continuity and holding people to account. And I feel that the hybrid of both these arguments needs to be implemented by Arsenal fans. I think huge expectations to win major trophies, including the domestic cups, but coupled with support, Okay, you didn't quite play well enough this week. On to the next. Let's go. Come on. I know you can do it. Have some belief. Show some encouragement. Be supporters. And I'm only saying this as an outsider looking in. I just don't think Arsenal, as a collective, respond well to the really bad aggression and anger and frustration that comes on. I don't think you get the best out of your players when you do that. Like I've said, you're not Real Madrid. However, I don't think you should have the man-be-pan-be sort of buttercup approach of no pressure, no standards or anything along those lines. So I do believe there is a happy medium here. What do you think? I don't think this season's over, by the way, for Arsenal. I understand they're 9 points off the top, but with the right encouragement, coupled with the correct pressure, this Arsenal team could win a trophy or two this season, which is success, especially with where they are now. They're judged pure in this moment now. They're judged purely on the trophies that they win. They're capable of winning them. They have squads good enough to win them, in my opinion. I think the fans are going to play a big part here. I think being too soft won't work. I think being too harsh won't work. You've got to find this happy medium. Now, as a Man United fan, I hope you don't. I hope that my team wins these trophies. But I'm just giving you my view and my opinion. Leave me yours below in the comment section. If you haven't done it yet, hit the like button. Take care, goodbye, God bless, and we'll see you all again soon. Peace.